I don't feel well. I really don't. You ever feel like that before? Well, I got something to say about it, so stick around for the rest of this video. You don't want to miss this. Hey! How's it going? Long time no see. You know, I haven't done one of these in such a long time, and I thought, you know what? I can't think of a better time to do this, and maybe even bring this back. You guys know how much I love this kind of storytelling. You guys know how much I want to kind of keep things interesting and switch it up a little bit. I've been going live a lot on my channel. I haven't really had a lot of guests on, my live stream podcast show. It's been really me teaching and talking and hopefully inspiring more than anything, because you guys know that I think inspiring is way more important than teaching. And I know you can tell by the title of this. Are you okay? Let's try that one more time. You guys can tell it's been a long time since I've done this. Take two. Holy mackerel. I'm shooting all this, by the way, on my permanent vlog camera, my permanent mobile camera that I'm going to use from now on, which I love, is the iPhone 11 Pro Max. I think it's fantastic. I think the camera is amazing. Getting back to what I was talking about. Holy mackerel. I got to get ready because I got class soon. I haven't been feeling good lately. I haven't been feeling my usual kind of always raring to go and excited to bring new videos to you and excited to bring new content to you. I haven't really been feeling that lately. And, I was actually going through some of the old vlogs really randomly. And this is kind of how things go, right? Sometimes you just, I don't know, it comes from anywhere. You gotta be alert. You gotta pay attention. And sometimes it could be the weirdest, most unexpected place to get your source of kind of regeneration and sort of reset, as the title of this video suggests, mindset reset. I was like, God, I really miss that way of storytelling. I've been doing a lot of lives on my channel. Let me know in the comments down below too, if you guys are enjoying the live streams, you're not enjoying the live streams, you'd like to see more live streams, you'd like to see it back on Sundays, you're not really so sure about the new time on Thursdays, or maybe you have another time. Let me know in the comments down below. I really want to know. But I want to tell you guys a little bit of a story, and I got to get ready for class. But I want to talk to you about this, because I think this is going to be a video that you're going to want to watch over and over again. We talk a lot about mindset and messaging. You can't get your message right if you don't get your mindset right. You got to get your mindset right before you get your message right. And your message is the gatekeeper to everything you want in life. Personal, professional, career pursuits, personal pursuits, family pursuits, business pursuits, anything. It starts with a clearly defined message. That's our whole channel. But even before that, even pre-mindset, even pre message, you got to get this dude right. You got to get this dude inside your chest right. And so, I haven't been feeling well. I haven't been feeling like myself, and I wanted to share this with you. So join me with this narrative of mindset reset, how to overcome bad days at work. Yeah, so I haven't been myself. I haven't been feeling like, it just hasn't been there. And I think what you're going to get the most out of this video, I hope, is that that's okay. That I want to tell you a story that I think is going to really help, and it's going to put things in major league perspective. And so, we tend to allow, and here's the key verb, allow bad days to govern our life. And it was interesting because I was listening to, I can't remember what I was listening to the other day, and it was an interview, and they were talking about how, we worry about our physical diet, but we very rarely worry about our mental diet. We're always kind of, aware of what we put in our body, but it's very rare that we're aware of what we're feeding our brains. And that's interesting. And even our own kind of, not only all the external gunk, but the internal gunk too. And there's a lot of gunk. I'm going to go button loose. I think that's kind of cool. And I hope that, you get a lot out of this video, because I miss this style of storytelling. I want to bring more of this style of storytelling, and I also want to make sure that you guys are getting what you want from this channel. You guys are getting the kind of content that you want to see from me. That means more to me than anything. Let me wash my face. Oh. Cold water on the face always feels good in the morning. I don't know, I've been really, really busy with work. Holidays are coming up. I haven't gone live in a couple of weeks, which is really rare for a dude like me. I don't know, I just haven't been feeling, I've got mountains and mountains of content. And I came to a point where I kind of thought to myself, I go, do I really want to just keep kind of piling on more mountains and mountains of content? Or do I want to kind of take a little step back? Is it almost too much? And I started having all these thoughts in my head, and it was stifling me. It was stymieing me. It was preventing me from creating. Maybe you can relate to this. If you can relate to this, let me know in the comments down below. Have you ever had this feeling where you're like, am I just on this kind of endless treadmill of creating content? Is it really impacting the people that I want it to impact? Is it fulfilling the objective that I have, which is to inspire people to make changes in their life, to help people with their career, their personal life, their mindset, their messaging, their branding? Those were some serious swimmers in this brain of mine. They were just all over the place, and it started to turn into this slow kind of darkness that sort of blanketed me. And it was just like, it was almost like a metal hand kind of pressing me into the couch, or pressing me into a place of too many questions, too many doubts, too many feelings of, imposter syndrome, or feelings of, why am I doing this? It was just this kind of barrage. And I talk a lot about this on the channel, and I think this is going to help big time. So, God, the wife had the car. Anytime the wife has the car, so I took the kids yesterday to mom and dad. This is the thing, guys, like, holidays are coming up, life comes up, family comes up. This is a video I've been wanting to make for a long time. How do you balance, work life, you hear all this stuff, and, it's true. I mean, that stuff, I never really thought about that stuff, work-life balance and all that crap. It just sounded like stuff for the birds, but this stuff is real. I mean, your time is the most valuable thing. It's the most valuable asset you have on planet Earth, is your time. Because you can't buy more and you can't get a refund. It's the most valuable asset. It's not money, it's not things, it's not status, it's not power. It's time, and your time on Earth is limited. As soon as you're born in this world, you're old enough to leave it. So anything can happen. That's something to think about. And so, story time. I want to tell you a story on today's vlog. How do you like the glasses? Do you like the glasses? A little kind of matrixy, maybe. So here's the story I want to tell, and I apologize if there's going to be some shakiness on the video. I got to get going to work. I got to get on the road. How many of you guys have ever seen or heard of the Twilight Zone? Let me know in the comments if you've ever seen, the old show Twilight Zone. None of this, I don't know if there's any like new Netflix series or God knows what, but the old original Rod Serling produced, shot, and directed. I mean, he wrote a lot of the episodes. How many of you guys remember that? Let me know in the comments. I'm going to be very, very safe, too. I'm not going to look at the camera while I'm driving. I'm going to focus on driving. But hopefully you can still hear my voice as I look right at the camera. Okay, that's the last time I'm going to look at the camera. Okay, this is the last time. Last time I'm going to look at the camera. So if you don't remember, or maybe you do remember, there was a specific show on the Twilight Zone that was, so it's a series of just amazing, a lot of it is kind of rooted in science fiction, weirdness, paranormal. I mean, it's become a cultural phrase, when something absolutely bizarre is happening to you, you won't, it's often said by one, what is this, the Twilight Zone? Or I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. You've created something powerful when you become a cultural phrase, when it becomes embedded in the language and culture. That's just unbelievable, right? Just like Google, you don't say, let me go search for information. You say, let me Google it. And so there's a story. There was one episode of Twilight Zone where it was about a petty thief, about a petty crook, and he died, and the whole show is about him experiencing. He died and went to heaven, right? As petty thief, and anything he ever wanted, anything he ever desired, women, cars, money, things, experiences, at the drop of a hat, just by the snap of his fingers, he was able to get that. He was able to, it just came to fruition right away. Anything he ever desired, anything he ever wanted, it all just, arrived at his own command, right? And after a while, the show kind of progresses and time passes. After a while, the thief just kind of goes, it just kind of becomes, stale, stagnant. He becomes bored, essentially. And nothing excites him. And he's just shocked at himself. He's shocked at his situation. He can't believe that in a world where he can have whatever he wants, whenever he wants, that he could potentially be bored, that he could potentially, be dissatisfied. It was just mind-blowing. It was shocking to him. Well, it gets worse as the show progresses and as the time passes. Not only does he become dissatisfied, but he downright abhors his situation. He hates it. He becomes so fed up. There's nothing that excites him anymore. And here's the beautiful, kind of ending to this show. And each of these Twilight Zone shows, those of you guys who watch Twilight Zone know this, each of these Twilight Zone shows, they're about a half an hour, 45 minutes, just brilliant 60s television, when television just started, really, to get its bearings. Rod Serling was a genius. After a while, the thief looks at the angel there, who basically was like his guide to the new world. He goes to the angel and he says, I don't understand. How can you call this place heaven? You guys call this place heaven? This is nothing. This is terrible. I'm bored stiff. There's nothing exciting here. I don't understand it. I don't get it. He's just like, frustrated beyond all measure. And the famous last line of the show, the angel leans in and whispers in his ear and says, "Oh, my good man, there must be some mistake. You're not in heaven." Listen to this, Nez Nation. My friend, there must be some kind of mistake. You're not in heaven. The reason that life is interesting is because things can go bad. The reason that life is stimulating is because we can't always get what we want. We can't always predict what's going to happen. We can't snap our fingers and have whatever we want, whenever we want. It's the things that can go wrong that make life interesting. That's the challenge. You can't have pain without pleasure. You can't have pleasure without pain. You can't have light without dark. You need dark to have light. You need bad to understand what good is. So what's my point? I haven't been feeling well. I haven't been creating. This is the first time in probably 3 years where I've been creating consistent content. I've been feeling so good about my brand and so good about my business that only in the last few weeks, have I felt this sort of feeling of just putting the brakes on and just, kind of holding out a little bit, just, kind of gathering myself and maybe even just resting a little bit. My point is this: these situations when you're feeling bad at work, when you feel like things aren't clicking, when you feel like you need a mindset reset, these are the best times. These are the essential times. You need this. This is what makes the rest of your, whatever, your business, personal life, professional life, that much more glorious, that much more better. Are these times of deep rest? Are these times of reflection? Are these times of pause? I've said this before on the channel, hitting that giant pause button, in life, and just, reflecting and not creating, not being so busy all the time, not hustling. I hate that verb, hustling. I mean, that verb has gotten completely abused. This time is warranted. This time is necessary. This time is essential. So, how to overcome the bad days at work, mindset reset, when you're not feeling well. The first thing I would say is understand that that's a good thing. Accept that. That's a beautiful thing. It's all based on your interpretation. It's all based on your interpretation, right? So there's one way to interpret it, is to just be like, okay, this must mean I suck. This must mean I'm weak. This must mean I'm not meant for this. That's a really extreme interpretation. There's another interpretation that I like to kind of, submit myself toward, and that is, maybe I just need to take a little break. Maybe I just need to kind of regroup. What's the harm in that? You hear all these people talk about consistency. Even I'm not saying I'm apart from this. That, you hear all these people talk about consistency, and that's beautiful. And yes, it's important, but your mental health, your physical health, your overall health, the way you feel about your content is going to come through in your content. So if you're just doing it for the sake of getting likes and followers and subscribers, if you're just doing it to sort of become this famous whatever, Instagrammer, YouTuber, or whatever, that's kind of an interesting kind of expedition into burnout in my view. The reason we watch the game, okay, with 5 seconds left, imagine if we knew that LeBron or Jordan or Magic or whoever was going to make that shot. Imagine if we knew Steph Curry was going to make that shot. Well, there'd be no excitement if you knew he was going to make the shot, or vice versa, if you knew he was going to miss the shot. What's exciting is we have no clue. What's exciting is the possibility that he can make the shot. Resistance is just as important as, push and pull work together. Push and pull work together. We need both forces, right? Again, going back to light and dark. This is something we don't talk about in school. This is something we don't teach our students. This is something we never talk about. It drives me absolutely batshit crazy. Why don't we talk about this humanness? Why don't we talk about being a human being, understanding that, depression and anxiety don't always necessitate being medicated, being clinically diagnosed, or, having to register into a clinic, and get treatment all the time. Maybe it doesn't. And I'm not a doctor. I just full disclaimer. I'm not a doctor. I'm not trying to say you shouldn't, and obviously there's cases, but I think we're too rash. I think we rush to the assessment that there's something wrong with us. Oh my God, I shouldn't feel this way. I shouldn't feel anxiety. I shouldn't feel sad. I shouldn't feel, because everybody else online is so happy-go-lucky, unicorns and yachts. It just isn't the truth. It just isn't the truth. So, yeah, the title of this video, again, Mindset Reset. There is no overcoming the bad days. Always remember this, Nez Nation. There's nothing to overcome. You're above a bad day. You're above a good day. You're beyond good and bad. You're beyond sadness and happiness. These are all fleeting feelings. These are all transient. They come and go. What doesn't come and go is your core. What doesn't come and go is your universal self, your true self. Don't ever forget this. This is the best thing that I could say. You want to know how to overcome anxiety, depression, bad days? The best advice ever: this too shall pass. Don't ever forget that. And to quote the words of Charlie Chaplin, everything is temporary, my dear, even your problems. So if you understand that everything comes and goes, there's no sense in taking any one feeling or thought too seriously, or letting it stick, or letting it define who you are or what you are. We rush to judgment. We're too presumptuous. When we have bad thoughts, dark thoughts, what have you, depressing thoughts, sad thoughts, feelings of imposter syndrome, feelings of inadequacy, we interpret that to define us. We interpret that as, okay, if I'm having these thoughts and feelings, there's something wrong with me. No, not necessarily. If it's chronic, if it's something that's almost, consuming your every living, waking hour and minute and day, well then, yeah, of course, that's something to look into. But 99% of us, that's not the case. Most of us, we're so, we put so much effort into trying to avert not feeling bad. And all that effort of trying not to make us, all that effort that you put in, all that energy you put into not feeling bad just makes you feel worse. Because you're basically reinforcing that there's something wrong with you. Boy, this is good. This is so good. Instead of fighting the bad days, instead of saying, why me? Instead of saying, why is this happening to me? What I want you to do is I want you to just shift your perspective around this. Just look at it with a different pair of eyes. Why not you? Maybe it's not a bad day. As Shakespeare once said, nothing is good or bad unless the mind makes it so. It's all how you interpret it. So maybe your interpretation is not accurate. Question that. Plus, what's the alternative? I mean, if you believe that this is, such a devastating thing to not, have a good day, or such a devastating thing to not be happy for 5 minutes, I mean, think of the ramifications of that. That can lead to so many multiple other destructive interpretations and habits. So just something to think about. Somebody who's experienced, somebody who's gone through this over and over again, somebody who's gone through depression, anxiety, major panic attacks in his life. This is something that has served me amazingly well. Look at your life, look at your experiences with a new point of view, with a new perspective, and watch what happens. I would love your feedback. Let me know in the comments down below. And don't forget, I've got a ton of other videos on mindset mastery, personal branding, getting your message right, motivational speeches. Go check that stuff out right now. Thank you. Think about every feeling, think about every thought, think about every experience. Everything has come and gone. Everything. Life comes and goes, age comes and goes, good times come and go, bad times come and go. The difference is you just got to be okay with that. That's the difference. When you learn to be okay with that, everything becomes a dance. Everything becomes a play. You're no longer flummoxed by, things going wrong and things tearing you down. It becomes more of a kind of fluidity to it. That's the difference.